Hey everyone, how's it going? Grizzly here with another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary. Today I've got a couple of different gameplays for you guys on King of the Hill Harvest. The first one is of Soldier, and as you can see I joined the game a little late, and we start making a little comeback. And then the second one, I switch over to the Scout. But today we're going to finish up talking about how I got into gaming, and if you missed the first half, I will post a link for you to go check that out. So last time we left off on Pokemon Red, and like I mentioned last time, that was really my first gaming experience, the game I really felt immersed in. But moving on, so it's probably about 2nd grade and it's near Christmas time, and I'm all excited because like I've mentioned before, Christmas is my favorite time of the year. And as a kid, I never really asked for super big things. I was always just really content with, Legos and action figures and that sort of thing. But this year my dad went above and beyond the Call of Duty, and he actually bought me a Nintendo 64. Which is a little strange to me because I don't even remember asking for one, but nonetheless I was super pumped about it. And you guys have to remember this, before the Nintendo 64, I'd never seen 3D graphics. Nobody had really had the opportunity to move around in a playable space, so the Nintendo 64 was huge. And it came with Super Mario 64, which in my opinion is one of the most defining Mario games ever made. And I spent hours playing it, and not even really doing the missions and, the levels, just exploring the different environments and seeing everything there was to see. And I won't lie, to this day, underwater levels still freak me out because of that game, so. But moving past Super Mario 64, the Nintendo 64 was really the first opportunity I had to play games with my friends, and this is where Nintendo really nailed multiplayer in their games. Games like Mario Kart, Mario Party, and one of my favorite series, Super Smash Bros. I could dedicate an hour-long video to talking about how much I love Super Smash Bros., but I think that's gonna have to wait for another day. But like I was saying, the Nintendo 64 is really what started my passion for multiplayer gaming. Ever since, I've never been able to dig into a single-player game unless it has a multiplayer mode, unless that game is Pokemon. But my obsession with the Nintendo 64 lasted a few years, and even now when I visit my dad, I'll still dust it off and blow into the Smash Bros. Cartridge and play a few games. Now, after the 64, nothing really tickled my fancy. I got the Game Boy Advance and the GameCube, and although I loved them both and logged hundreds of hours, there wasn't really one game that I got into, unless you count Super Smash Bros. Melee. So things stagnate for a little bit until about 7th grade, and this was when one of my friends introduced me to Call of Duty. And I know what you're all thinking, Call of Duty? That game sucks. But hear me out. This was when the first Call of Duty game came out, and nobody thought it was bad. Everybody loved it, including me. I remember going over to my friend's house and playing after basketball practice, and we'd all just huddle around the screen and watch each other play. And another thing to take note of, I'd never really played a first-person shooter game before. But I didn't have a copy of my own until it went on sale at Walmart for about $10. And when it did, oh man, I logged some serious hours on that game. And my friend and I started getting pretty competitive, and we formed a clan, and we'd have scheduled matches against each other. It was kind of my first competitive experience, and not only did it introduce me to the competitive side of games, it also got me started in mapping. And it blew my mind that regular people could create maps for games. Someone my age, had the tools needed to create a map. So you can kind of see why I have a special place in my heart for the TF2 mapping community. And although my maps were absolutely terrible, my friend and I thought they were super awesome and played them all the time. So yes, it was Call of Duty that turned me on to first-person shooters, and I'm not gonna lie, to this day I still enjoy Call of Duty games, and I know a lot of people say it's the same game every year and it doesn't take any skill to be good and it's not balanced at all, but I'm fine with that, I don't play to be the best, and when it comes to sitting around relaxing and playing games, Call of Duty is one of my favorites. But other than Call of Duty 1, I never really owned a Call of Duty game until Black Ops 2, so that might be part of the reason I still like them. I only had the opportunity to play when I was at friends' houses, but enough about Call of Duty, I've already talked about it. You're here for Team Fortress 2, so I'm gonna give it to you. Now let me apologize real quick here because I'm about to backtrack a little bit, but this is relevant to how I found Team Fortress 2, so hang in there. Remember how I mentioned my love for Nintendo? Well, about 6th grade I started becoming really involved online, more specifically on Nintendo-themed message boards, and this lasted all the way throughout high school, and I logged on literally every day, well, not literally, but almost every single day to talk to these people. And unfortunately, the message board did shut down due to lack of traffic, but before it did, some of these people introduced me to a game called Team Fortress 2. Now, I was a bit skeptical at first, never having heard of Team Fortress 1, but everyone was talking about how good it was, so I thought I'd give it a chance. Now, Team Fortress 2 has been free to play for a while now, but it wasn't always that way. Originally, the only way to get it was by purchasing the orange box, which cost around $20, I think, at the time. Now, for a kid who was unemployed, that seemed like quite a bit of money to be thrown away on video games, 3 of which I never really planned on playing in the first place, but I was finally awarded for my patience when they announced a free weekend, and I was super excited for this and started downloading as soon as I could, and downloaded, and downloaded, and downloaded, and my internet at the time must have been horrible or something because it took nearly the whole weekend to download the game. And by the time it was all done, I think I only got about an hour of gameplay in. So needless to say, the free weekend was really just a waste of my time and a major letdown. So their Team Fortress 2 sat in the back of my mind, never really popping up until one day I was at GameStop with a friend and I saw the orange box for Xbox 360. So I grabbed him, I said, we have to get this game for Team Fortress 2, and he said he'd heard a little bit about it, and he went ahead and bought it. So we headed home and played on 2 for hours, and it wasn't until later that year that we bought it for PC, and this is where my Team Fortress 2 experience really begins. And that was in 2009, so as you guys can see, I'm still going, stronger than ever, and Valve is still updating the game regularly, which is amazing to me, and there's a great fan base, and with the community workshop, I can't ever really see this game stopping. You know, people are practically doing Valve's job for them. That's not to say it doesn't take a lot of work to implement the new weapons and cosmetics people create, but it definitely does take off some of the workload. And with all these tools being handed over to the community, including map making, I can see this game lasting a long time, and I'm very happy to be right in the middle of it. So that's about where my gaming journey ends, or is at currently, I guess you could say. So I hope you all enjoyed that little look into my life and where I started and how I got here. It was really fun for me to, think back on all the games that had such a big impact on me. But that pretty much wraps that up, so let's discuss Team Fortress 2 for a little bit, as that's why all you guys are here. So if you're unaware, new crates have recently been added to the game, and they're called Manco Strongboxes, and there's quite a bit of speculation saying this ties in with the end of the line update, and I guess strongboxes were boxes used back in the day to store valuables, and it was not uncommon to see them on trains, which, if you haven't seen the trailer for End of the Line, is what it is all about. So if it is indeed connected to the big community update, I think we should be seeing that before the end of the month, which would make 4 major updates in 4 months, so that's pretty crazy. So look forward to that, guys. But that about wraps up the entire video. Managed to fit a lot of stuff in this one, so please let me know what you think about it. My gaming experiences, your gaming experiences, trains, whatever it is you want to talk about, leave it in the comments below. But that's it, so thank you all so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you all later. Have a good one, guys. Bye.